Okay, we'll call this meeting to order. Councilor Burke, will you do the invocation?
Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this evening to take care of the business of our nation. And we give you the many blessings, dear Lord, on all the things you have bestowed upon our tribe. We've had a busy last few days, and we just want to thank you for things that you have let us create and be prosperous in. I want to thank you for the things that's taken place, and finally the decisions that are made in Washington, D.C. for benefit of all of our Indian nations throughout Indian country. We just thank you for our veterans, dear Lord, that gives us our freedom here to operate our nation. And dear Lord, we give you all the blessings, and we give you all the credit in your name, dear Lord. And just be with our leaders here at Cherokee Nation. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Shelley, would you do the roll call?
Jack Baker.
Here.
Here. Joe Bird.
Honey.
Julia. Jody Fisher. Here. Jennifer Perez.
Present.
Don Garvin.
Honey.
Frank Hargis.
Present.
Hannah Lori George.
Present.
Lee Keener.
Honey.
Dick Lay.
Here.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
Denise Taylor.
Here.
David Jordan. David Watkinson.
Honey.
Terry Cowan. We do have a forum.
I want to diverge just a little bit and recognize Council Lady Taylor. I believe she's got an introduction tonight.
We have our newly elected member of the council, Victoria Mitchell Vasquez, in the audience tonight. She was recently elected in District 11, and she'll be sworn in tomorrow night. So next month, she'll be sitting up here with us. Victoria has been promoting Cherokee culture for a number of years through artwork, and so this is going to give her another opportunity to do that. I'm very excited to be working with her.
Her swearing in will be tomorrow at 5 o'clock. If everything goes right, it'll be out here in the foyer. There'll be a little bit of, I don't know where Gail's at, but I think it's going to be maybe punch and finger food. Gail puts all that on for us, and we would like to invite everyone here to also be a part of that occasion. Thank you. Let's see. You all have had a chance to review the minutes of the previous meeting of September 16th. Do I hear a motion?
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and by Joe Bird, second by Don Griffin. Any questions, comments, or corrections? All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Mr. Lane, I think you have a comment.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to amend the agenda to make a motion to include a resolution approving a compact for contract health services for Craig County and Cherokees only, and Rogers and North Tulsa County. I'd like to move for its approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, a motion and by Dick Way, second by Jack Baker. And would that be item number 7 on our agenda? We'll put it at the end. Okay. Any questions or comments? All those in favor can signify by saying aye to amending the agenda.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Now we'll have the State of the Nation by Principal Chief Bill John Baker.
Well, greetings. Welcome to this month's council meeting. It's a week behind schedule, but last week we did some really good work with the National Congress of American Indians. The council was very well represented. They visited with tribes from all over the country, and We had several events where we invited all the tribes in, and Diane Kelly and many others did yeoman's work so that we put the Cherokee Nation at the forefront. Many tribal leaders came to me and said that we had done the best job of hosting that they'd ever seen. And Sean Slayton needs to take some credit of this. The Hard Rock put their best foot forward. And the folks that were staying at the other hotels I was hearing them saying, boy, we should have stayed over here. And so we really did a great job. They were gracious enough to re-elect Deputy Chief Crittenden to the regional vice president, and we certainly appreciated him in that. And I'd be remiss if I, too, didn't congratulate Victoria Mitchell Vasquez on a good, clean race run, and we look forward to her serving on this body, helping move the progress of the Cherokee Nation. At this time, I want to put a message out to all the council, everybody in the audience, and everybody on the internet, that we are collecting memorabilia that honors veterans for our new Veteran Center. So if anybody has any memorabilia that you want on permanent display that would be appropriate for our Veteran Center, we've got many cases, and the Cherokees have a long history of serving in the military. And so any of that memorabilia, any of those personal stories, any of those things, I think my mother's going to do a shadow box of that Dad had. There's 3 boys, and she can't divide it up, so I think she's going to give it away. But anyway, anybody that has any of those things that we would like to display, please come forward with it. We were blessed this month with opening the Charles L. Head One Fire Wing at the Family Safety Center in Tulsa. They're doing very much the same things that we're doing at One Fire here in Tahlequah. They serve a huge Cherokee population. We don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, and we want to help Cherokees no matter where they live. We were also fortunate today to have partnered over in Stillwell with the shelter there. It's the Oak. It's the what's the name of it?
Orchard Road is the group.
Yeah, Orchard Road, and they took it. I mean, it's a great project. They took an old hotel or motel there in Stillwell, and they completely refurbished it. They used part of our community assistance dollars to do it with, and so it's going to be a shelter now, so that anybody that falls on hard times, anybody that needs assistance, then they'll have the rooms, and they're already had done such a fine job with that they're wanting to do a battered women's shelter as well. But it was a great thing for the Cherokees to partner with, to get something in that area that can mesh together with our One Fire for the folks that live in that part of the Cherokee Nation, just like the Family Safety Center is for the ones that live in the western and northern part of the Cherokee Nation. We were also able to assist with the Oaks with their wastewater project that was sorely needed for the health and safety of many Cherokee citizens in the Oaks area. Proud to announce that the Sequoia High School football players that were penalized by the OSSA were vindicated by the state Supreme Court. And so any of them that had to pay back anything, that's being repaid to them, and we're supposed to get attorney fees back, so we'll help with their attorneys. Unfortunately, the Veronica Brown saga has come to an end. but Veronica will always be in the hearts of each and every Cherokee, certainly in this room, and really all over America. George Tiger put it best. He said when we were going through that period that all Indian country were Cherokee for a period because they were thinking about us each and every day and that struggle. Special recognitions. 3 Cherokee citizens were among the 50 Native Americans honored recently at the AARP of Oklahoma. Congratulations to former Principal Chief Ross O. Schwimmer, Tribal Counselor Jack Baker, and our dear good friend, author and genealogist Betty Starr Barker. They were recognized as people who make a difference in their communities and across Indian country. Today we're going to, number 7, I believe, is a piece of legislation that we brought to the council. The council, I believe, passed it unanimously. That will give the Cherokees the opportunity to compact for all of Craig County for outpatient contract health for all Native Americans. It's also going to compact for all Cherokees in northern Tulsa and Rogers County, so that no longer will we have to look at a system that has to be denied first, then taken up by the Cherokee Nation. If you've got cancer, if you've got sickness, you want help and you want help then. This will give the Cherokees an opportunity to help quicker and better and fold it right into the system that we already have that is working well. So I take my hat off to each and every one of you for being a part of passing this legislation. God bless you, and God bless the Cherokee Nation.
Now have Deputy Principal Chief Joe Crittenden give out the Cherokee Warrior Veterans Awards.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Tonight we have 3 veterans to honor for their service to this country. The first veteran is Lacey Backward. Lacey, would you come forward, please? This gentleman is a World War II veteran. I'm going to give you a little background about Lacey. I'm going to read about you here. Hold on. Lacey Backward was born in 1923 at home in Locust Grove. And by the way, the council people who live or who serve right around Salina, come down here, please, and we'll let you help us honor this gentleman. He was raised by his parents, Muggy and Sampson Backward. He attended school at Woodland Junction and was drafted into the Army at the age of 18. After completing basic training, he became a paratrooper assigned to the 11th Airborne Division, nicknamed the Angels. After a year of training in ground and airborne tactics, the division was sent to New Guinea for jungle warfare training. In 1944, the Angels arrived in the Philippine Islands. The 11th Airborne Division helped to clear a path for U.S. forces in the Philippines. They were withdrawn from the front lines in January of 1945 and given a short rest, re-equipped, and sent out towards Manila. The division fought its way from Nasugbu Beach to Manila in 5 days, covering a distance of 69 miles. Once the capital was liberated and Japan surrendered, their mission was complete. Lacey served until 1946, when he was honorably discharged with honors received. His awards include the Good Conduct Medal, American Campaign Medal, World War II Victory Medal, Asiatic Pacific Campaign Medal with 3 bronze stars, the Philippine Liberation Ribbon with 1 bronze star, and an Honorable Service lapel button, World War II. At 90 years of age, Lacey still loves to do yard work and spends time with his family. He is a full-blood Cherokee and speaks the Cherokee language fluently. He is one of our few remaining World War II veterans. And, sir, I want to take this time to thank you for your service to this great country. Thank you very much.
Turn around here, Lacey. Deputies, I hope he doesn't give you a purple card, though.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Here is a certificate in here. If you all fill it out, then we'll put a brick in the Warriors Memorial down. In your honor, sir. Thank you for your service. Lacey, you want to say anything?
I'll say thank you. No.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Cherokee.
Yeah.
Our next veteran for recognition is a friend of mine who went to high school with this gentleman. His name is Jeff Simpson. Jeff, would you come down, please? Jeff Simpson was born in 1943 at the Indian Hospital in Cherokee County. He was raised in Adair County in Stillwell. And by the way, the Adair County Council members, please come down. He is the son of the late Aline Hogner, who served a number of years as the chairman of the Cherokee Housing Authority, and I served with that lady, and she done great work for us. He graduated from Stillwell High and earned a degree in drafting at Oklahoma State Tech School in Okmulgee. He volunteered for the U.S. Army in 1965. After basic training, he continued his training in topography at the engineering school at Fort Belvoir, Virginia. He spent 24 months with the 3rd Armored Division in Germany and 5 months with the 502 Administrative Company in Fort Hood, Texas. He was honorably discharged in December of 1968 with the rank of E5. After leaving the Army, he worked for 2 years in Tulsa as a draftsman at North American Rockwell in the Apollo space program. Later, he worked for T.D. Williamson in Tulsa for 41 years in engineering and drafting positions. He retired in 2005. He has 2 grown daughters living in Claremore, and in 2006 he returned to Stillwell, where he now resides and is chairman of the Fairfield Community Organization. And Jeff, thank you, sir, for serving this country as you did.
One, two. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Joanne. Wait a minute, I need you better back. Okay. I didn't know you were back.
Stand it over here, Joanne.
Right here. Yeah.
You're welcome.
And would you like to say anything?
I'm just happy to be Cherokee, and I think these two gentlemen here, the chief and Joe, are good friends of mine and good friends of my mother's, and I think they're doing a great job for the Cherokee. Just keep up the good work.
About all the developments at the Fairfield and what a fine job he did. Singing deal and stage they built. Oh. And speaking of fine work, you really need to get to Fairfield. Since Jeff has been out there, they have built an outdoor stage where they can have all these musical events. They have them in the wintertime, but now they can have them in the summertime. And the tribe was fortunate enough to be able to get some more acreage around that community building. But it's really one of the best kept up, and they had the first new history course out there, and the community just really has taken hold and better than it's ever been. And it's through Jeff's leadership.
Our next veteran tonight is a gentleman named Randy Thomas. Randy, would you come down, please? Let's give him a hand. Randy Thomas was born in 1959 in Muskogee. And by the way, this gentleman resides in Sallisaw. So if the council people from the Sallisaw area would come down, we'll let you help us honor him. He enlisted with the United States Marine Corps Reserves in 1982 and was trained as a cannoneer in the Field Artillery Battery Unit. During his enlistment, Randy completed a degree in biology at Northeastern State University. He went to work with Oklahoma State Department of Health. He then enlisted for 6 years with the U.S. Air Force Air National Guard, 188th Fighter Wing in Fort Smith, where he was trained as a ground radio repairman. After the September 11th attacks, Randy decided to volunteer for service overseas. He went into active duty Air Force with the 379th Expeditionary Squadron Air Combat Command. He was stationed at the air base in Qatar. Is that the proper? How do you say that, Randy?
Sorry, excuse me.
How do you say Qatar? How do you properly pronounce that?
It was called gutter as a G. I call it Qatar.
Okay. I got close, but I knew that other one was also used, which was CENTCOM. He served as a security escort for foreign contractors that came on the base every day to build the power distribution systems that supplied electric power to the entire base 24 hours a day. In 2002, his active duty orders expired and he returned home to his family. Some of his awards include the U.S. Marine Corps Reserve's Air Reserve Forces Meritorious Service Medal with 1 bronze oak leaf cluster, National Defense Service Medal, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal. And Randy, thank you, sir, for your service to this country.
One, two, three. One, two.
I'm just real thankful to the nation. The nation has helped me down through the years with some medical things that have happened to me, very much so. And I'm really humbled to be honored, and really can't say much more, but I appreciate you, sir, your service.
Yeah. Madam Speaker, that's all I have.
Thank you.
Madam Speaker,
Yes.
if I could, I failed to turn a page, and we've got some citizens that are no longer with us this month, so if I could read a list and we could have a moment of silence for them. We have Ruby Sanders of Stillwell, John Goodrich of Stillwell, Mike Eagle of Stillwell, Sarah Pritchett of Stillwell, Carolyn Rush of Stillwell, Daniel Graham of Tahlequah, Eddie Holmes of Tahlequah, Mia Russell of Tahlequah, Ricky Conrad of Tahlequah, Norman Carey of Tahlequah, Bud Adams of Houston, Texas, a non-Cherokee, Bob Ed Culver, but he served in our legislature and was a friend to all, and Bern Phillips, elder from Houston, Texas as well. Are there others?
Frank Payton of Jay and Claudine Summerfield of Jay.
Frank Payton and Claudine Summerfield. Any others?
Elizabeth Blackwell, Rogers County.
Elizabeth Blackwell.
Guy Grimmett of Stillwell.
And Grimmett. If we could have a moment's silence, please. Wadeau.
Councilman Byrd, did you have, Councilman Byrd, did you?
Yes, Speaker, Chief, you were talking about the Veterans Building. As we all know, there's been contributions made by our Native Americans back in World War I, World War II. Some time ago, Raymond Vann brought me a list that was made in the Oklahoma Daily Press. The famous code talkers that were mentioned in the movies are the Navajos and the Choctaw and Comanche. Those were very, very famous and written often about. After some research, there's a book called Comanche Code Talkers, but in that, there are Cherokee Code Talkers. So during rules meeting, I had a book, I purchased the book, and registration has that book, and they're going to have to validate those names. Approximately 35 to 40 names. But the cost of that to validate is going to be around $72 per tribal member. That's something that I'd like for the council to look into in your office as well. It's money well spent. The Choctaws are going to Washington, D.C. next month and have a ceremony for their code talkers. We as Cherokees have not had the opportunity to do that as well. So I'd like for your office to take the lead and work with us and the registration department and make that happen.
Okay. Councilman Byrd, I appreciate it so much, and that's a great idea, and I really think that the group of Molly Jarvis and such that have done such a fine job with the interpretive centers at our museums, that ought to be one of their projects to not only verify and quantify, but to make a display that maybe with even a kiosk that could bring it to life for us. So I'm going to suggest that. Wadeau.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Okay, now we're going to move on to unfinished business. Seeing none, we'll move on into committee reports. First up is Housing Authority Director Gary Cooper.
Madam Speaker, members of the council, good evening. Met with you just a little while ago, so I'll just cover a few items that didn't get to cover then. After our meeting last month, I left to go back to a negotiated rulemaking committee meeting. It was our second meeting. We were able to get a lot accomplished during that meeting. We were able to unanimously pass our protocols. It was unanimously adopted and signed off on by all 26 members of that committee. And also we were able to outline several of the items that committee members, and also we opened up the floor to the general public to make suggestions as far as any input they would like to have or what items they would like to see discussed during the committee process. And we took all of those items as a committee. We took all of those items in and assigned them out to two separate work groups. So we do have a number of items kind of laid out for us and kind of a plan in place. So whenever we are able to start meeting again, we're able to actually get into the meat of what we're there at the committee for. We do not know when those meetings will take place again in the future. We are dependent upon HUD to have a budget in place. They're operating just like the government under a continuing resolution, and under a CR, it would be next August before we could have a meeting. And we're hoping that it won't be that long, because of course we would hope that maybe by that time we would be able to accomplish everything that we need to accomplish as a committee. Of course, that is wishful thinking, but we will. That is kind of our goal. Is we do want to get everything done, get it done in quick order, but thoroughly discuss all of the items that we need to discuss, because this is a very important process, and it does have to do with the NAHASTA formula, and that's the whole nuts and bolts with how the NAHASTA money is divvied up to all of the tribes across the country. Last Tuesday, we had our regular Housing Authority Board meeting. Currently, our November meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, November 19th at 5:30 in the evening. Our board meetings are, for this month, we're trying to get back on schedule. Of course, we all know that schedules sometimes get pushed around and moved around, but we try to have the board meetings on the third Tuesday of every month. So we're getting back on track, and we're looking at November 19th for the November meeting. We do have a special board meeting scheduled for tomorrow afternoon. The whole purpose of that meeting is for a Board of Commissioners training. You may hear me or others mention the acronym NAHC, which stands for the National American Indian Housing Council. NAHC was on site beginning today, and they'll be on site for the rest of the week conducting on-site trainings. As a member, they do that for the members, and they're doing that. Cherokee Nation employees and Housing Authority employees are all coming together to participate in 4 separate training, I think, trainings that they're conducting for us. And those are on site, so that's not trainings that we're having to send someone out to, not trainings we're having to, pay for travel and everything else. So we really get the most from that, and those are offered free of charge for us. And then those are, they're also the ones that's going to be conducting a Board of Commissioners training for us tomorrow afternoon. With all of the housing programs that we offer over at the Housing Authority, we are proud to assist nearly 6,000 families with housing assistance, and that does include a little over 2,400 that we help through our Community Shield insurance program, and that's offered in conjunction with Amaran. And many of you, if you walk through the vendor area at NCAI last week. You probably seen Amaran's booth, and I know that several of us were standing around somewhere, and the CEO of Amaran stopped by, and I introduced you all to him, and I will tell you the same thing, tell the rest of you the same thing that I told them, is in the 27 years, I believe, that Amaran's been in business, this is our first Native American CEO of that Indian-owned company, and we are very proud of that. Derek is a longtime employee of Amaran. He's been with the company for 13, 14 years, and last summer, the board named him as the new chairman, and all of us across Indian country are very proud of him and his accomplishments, and that's something that we've been encouraging Amaran to do for quite some time, and they were able to do that this year, so we're very proud of him, and I just wanted to bring that up. Since we met just a few hours ago, I promised I would try to keep my report brief. That concludes my report for this evening. If you have any questions, as always, I'll be more than happy to try to answer those for you.
Do we have any questions or comments of Mr. Cooper? Ms. Fisher?
Yes, ma'am.
How's it going with Stillwell, Gary?
We are working on that project right now. We have the bid out for an engineer to engineer those sites. And there's actually, there's actually 2 properties over there that will have to be engineered. And the engineering part of it's to get the water and sewer onto the property. Once we have that done, we have a couple other properties around. We have a property down at Sequoia County that we need some engineering work done, and then another property up in Bonita, and that's kind of the order that we're hoping to get those done, because that one site over in Stillwell is, I think, a site that's been in inventory for quite some time, and something needs to be done with it, and that's a small acreage tract. All of these are very small acreage tracts. They're not large tracts. They're small, manageable properties. We don't want to get into the habit where we have several.
Keep me up to date if you need anything else.
Houses on the same property.
Councilman Byrd.
You have a community meeting Monday night.
I'm going to have people there.
And we'll make an announcement later, but the question I'm going to be asked is how many houses have we get ahead of the game?
I apologize because I don't have my report that I had this afternoon with me. It was in your monthly board report packet, but I will send those numbers back to you. And if you want me to, I can email those out just as soon as.
Yeah, those. As long as we haven't read it by Monday night.
Yeah. And I can tell you that we're on track right now to have about, I believe, 100 done by the end of the calendar year.
Other questions or comments? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Our next report is by CEO Sean Slayton of Cherokee Nation Businesses.
Good evening. Chief, Deputy Chief, Council. It's my privilege to represent our employees before you tonight. I would like to thank Chief Baker for his recognition of our employees' hard work last week. That happened because we have a great team. They appreciate the opportunity to share in tribal activities such as that. Sometimes we feel a little disconnected being scattered around the 14 counties and not always able to participate like we should, but these events are a big thing to our employees. I especially want to thank Mark Fulton, our Chief Operating Officer, for his leadership for that last week. I can tell you when he was asked and to help with that he jumped in and he held countless meetings personally to make sure that things were in order and happened like they should. So I'll be more than happy to take back that thanks and pass it along. I did for the holidays, and it was very well received and appreciated, Chief. I thank you for that. Financially, the companies are strong. We've had a great year. We did better than last year, and last year was a great year. And we're working feverishly to continue that trend. Tonight, I'm proud to announce that our tax collections exceeded $300,000 for the month. That's the first time that's ever happened, and we're happy to contribute that to the nation's coffers as well. Working hard on our clinic projects. I believe Redbird and Salisaw is now out of the ground, pouring foundations, and we look forward in the near future to continuing that with the 3 other clinics and then to the hospital. I'd like to brag a little bit on our people tonight, just a second. The Journal Record honored Cheryl Cohenauer with a 2013 50 Making a Difference Award. Cheryl is the CEO of several of our companies, environmental and construction. And since we added her companies to our portfolio in 2006, she's played a vital role within the communities as well. You may see her from time to time on TV. She's worked closely with the city of Tulsa on some of their environmental issues, and especially in this past year with their trash issues. She serves on numerous Tulsa boards and nonprofit organizations, including the Tulsa Family Safety Center that was opened last week, and is working to duplicate that on a national model with the Cherokee One Fire organization. She was recognized for that honor at the Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum in Oklahoma City, and will be featured in a special Journal Record publication, 50 Making a Difference. Also, Courtney Rourke Thompson was named to the Native American 40 Under 40 list. She enjoyed that honor with Mr. Walking Stick. And Bobby Cook, owner of the graphic design and media buying agency, the 3C Group, and Elise Beeler, chief of the staff for global diversity and inclusion at Merck. That award recognizes 40 emerging American Indian leaders from across the country who demonstrate leadership skills. Very proud of Courtney and her contributions to us. The Cherokee Nation Communication Department wanted me to announce that they had launched a new multimedia online newsroom. So if you would like to tap into that, you can look online, and it's got all of our media stories that have been posted out there. It's a good one-stop for that. The Hard Rock hosted the 8th Annual Cherokee Art Market, the 12th and 13th. We had more than 43 tribes displayed their artwork at the market. The prize winners were awarded $75,000 in overall prize money, and that is really becoming a national event that draws a lot of great Native American artists. Best in Show went to Navajo artist Alvin Marshall. Our locations recently donated school supplies. We donated 2,000 items to 10 schools throughout the Cherokee Nation. Our employees do a great job with those kind of efforts. They also did a cleanup on the Illinois River and collected over 2,000 pounds of trash. Current employment is 4,489. Our Cherokee percentage is 74.6%, with our Native American at 7.4%, for a total of 82% Native American. And that concludes my report tonight. Be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have questions of Mr. Slayton?
I have a comment. Yes. It's good to hear that someone is going to be on TV that's a tribal member. I hear all the other tribes showing their story and telling their story. And Cheryl, if she's going to be on TV and learn who we are, that would be exciting. I think the only time I've seen a Cherokee your walking stick was in the background of the Thunder Game. Somewhere in there, I'd like to see us telling the stories. Sean, you guys are doing excellent. Thanks for keeping us up there with the higher readings at 74.6%.
You're welcome.
Very well done.
I probably should comment that the shutdown last week, we believe it impacted us to the tune of about $600,000 to $700,000.
Wow.
So, that it had and that's to our bottom line, but even more than that, it hurt a lot of hardworking individual people and families. So,
Councilman Carter.
A couple of things, Sean. I was fortunate to attend the cultural night at Hard Rock on Wednesday night. The food was excellent and good selections. I noticed we're going to have some competition down the road from Margaritaville. I guess that's the way you say that.
yes, sir.
You going to comment on it?
I can comment on that. Congratulate them for their vision. Competition is good. It makes everybody better, and we accept their challenge. We're currently, as a group, working on a mitigation plan, and for any impact that may come of that, and we will be ready whenever that happens, if it does.
One other thing, I noticed in the paper you're going to have a special race over at Will Rogers Dam, the zebras. You may not know about it.
I don't know about it, no.
I was wondering if you could pick a winner for me.
I don't have a very good track record of that, Don. You might want to talk to Joe there.
They all kind of look alike.
Yeah.
Any other questions? All right.
Sean, I'm proud of being able to say 3 out of every 4 employees up there are Cherokee citizens. When I come on this council, back in 2007, that was one of my campaign promises to people. I would start fighting and wanting more Cherokees hired. And for the first year, we hovered around 58-60%. And the second year, I have been able to say, hey, folks, look at it. We have made a difference. And it's because of you that I've been able to say that. So I want to tell you thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. On behalf of the executive team, it's a major focus for us. Our people accepted that as a challenge. The majority of them are Native American, and they're happy to accept that challenge. And there are a lot of good Cherokee people out there that need jobs, and we've been able to put a lot of them to work.
All right. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to old business. I see none, so we're going to move into new business. Councilman Lane, would you take number 1?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Resolution authorizing the submission of an application to the United States Department of Health and Human Services for year 2014 funding for low-income home energy assistance program, LIHEAP. We'll move for its approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Lay and a second by Councilman King. Are there questions or comments regarding this resolution? All those in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Councilman Lay, I'll have you do 2 also.
Okay, I wonder if I could hand this off to Councilor Taylor.
Yes.
To do this. Yeah.
Council Lady Taylor, will you take number 2?
Yes. This is a resolution authorizing the Food Distribution Program to submit an application for funding to the United States Department of Agriculture.
Can you put that in the form of a motion?
I make a motion we approve this.
Second.
Next, we have a motion by Council Lady Taylor and a second by Councilman Walkingstick. Do we have questions or comments regarding that resolution? All those in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Councilman Byrd, will you take number 3?
Yes. The resolution confirming the reappointment of Roberta Gibson as a board member of the Cherokee Nation Sequoia High School Board of Education. With that form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilman Byrd, second by Councilman David Walkenstick. Is Ms. Gibson available tonight?
Yes.
Yes. There you are. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or comments? She was well vetted, I believe, in one of our committee meetings. Okay. We'll have you come down to the podium if you would.
I have a comment.
Oh, just a comment. Well, we'll have you come on down anyway because we're going to ask you. Yes, Mr. Keener.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As Roberta's making her way down there, I just want to say that I'm very pleased to hear about this nomination, and I'd like to be added on as a sponsor.
Okay.
It's only been a few years, I think, since you graduated, isn't that right?
It's been a lot of years.
When I think of Roberta, I think of Miss Sequoia High.
Are there others that would be added as sponsors also? Lady Taylor, are there other, Councilman Lay, myself, Council Lady Fulbright, Councilman Garvin, and Councilman Snell. Is there others? Okay. All right. All those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Gibson, would you like to make a few comments?
I would like to thank all of you. I'm one of those people you'll see anywhere and everywhere, and I'm very observative. This is the best I've ever seen the organization run, and I'm 70 years old. But I just want you to know that you guys are doing a good job. I'm real proud of you. And I've gotten to know Bill John. I never knew him. And I like everything that you guys are doing. Buying up stuff, I think that's great. Look at Chickasaw. I've taken a whole tour of their area. And I'm glad to see you guys doing the good job that you're doing. And I thank you for giving me a few more years to hang around Sequoia, because Sequoia is home for me. I was there when it was an orphanage. And I'm the president of the alumni organization. And the ones that come are the ones that were orphans. And we would like to see all the new folks walking stick. But anyway, I thank you so much, and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you.
Ms. Gibson is going to be our newest reconfirmed member of the Cherokee Nation Sequoia High School Board of Education. Thank you again. Let's give her another round of applause. Okay, Ms. Fulbright, will you take number 4?
Yes. Number 4 is a resolution setting the date for the swearing in of the newly elected council member for District 11.
Is that in form of a motion?
Yes, a second motion.
We have a second by Councilman Lay, and I believe that is set for October 22nd at 5 o'clock.
Just tomorrow.
Yes, okay, which is tomorrow out in the foyer. Do we have questions or comments? All those in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. So we're going to see our newest member installed tomorrow, assuming everything goes great, tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and I hope all of you all can attend. Okay. Council Lady Fishenhawk, will you take number 5?
The purpose of this amendment is to authorize and approve the use of funds, subject to the availability of such funds, changing the amounts of certain cost centers approved in the Comprehensive Budget Act of fiscal year 2014. The cumulative total of the budget is increased by $19,000 for a total budget authority of $565,877,575, and I move for its approval.
Second. We have a motion and second. Does anyone have a comment on number 5? We've had by acclamation, suggestion by acclamation. Okay. All those in favor can signify by saying aye on number 5, which is an act. Aye. All those opposed? Acts have it. Now, I need to drop back to number 3. Did we not take a vote on that? I thought we did, but maybe number 3 was Miss Gibson.
Yes, we did.
I believe we did take a vote on that. Yes. Okay. Let's do a re-vote just to be sure. I see our AG is somewhat concerned. So if you would drop back to number 3. Councilman Byrd, you made the motion.
I second it.
And Councilman Walkenstick, you seconded that motion. All those in favor of that resolution, again, we're dropping back to number 3, can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Would that be sufficient now? Okay. We've blessed it a second time.
She's doubly in.
All right. Now, I've kind of got you off kilter here, but we're moving down to number 6. And Council Lady Fishenhawk, I'm going to have you take that one.
The purpose of this amendment is to authorize and approve the use of funds subject to the availability of funds, changing the amount of certain cost centers approved in the Comprehensive Capital Budget Act fiscal year 2014. The cumulative total of the capital budget is increased by $5 million for a total capital budget authority of $97,360,612. I move for its approval.
Second.
We have a motion by Council Lady Fishenhawk, a second by Councilman Byrd.
Okay.
Are there questions or comments regarding number 6? Do I hear a request for acclamation?
So moved.
Okay. All those in favor can signify by saying aye to this act.
Aye.
All those opposed? Let's be by acclamation. Now we have one more agenda item. Mr. Lay, I'll have you take that.
Thank you, ma'am. This is a resolution approving a compact for contract health services for Craig County and Cherokees only in Rogers and North Tulsa County, with one correction, Madam Chairman, on the sheet on where it says "be it resolved," it says Craig County. It should be Craig County.
C-R-A-I-G.
Yes, ma'am.
So you make that motion with that
Correct.
amendment to that typo?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second by Lee Keener. Original motion made by Dick Lay. Okay, questions or comments? This was the agenda item that we amended the agenda for earlier tonight. Well, I would like to make a comment. I'm very proud of the fact that we are moving in the direction of adding more to our contract health. And as I told Connie earlier today, my only hope is that you all can continue to add, that being across the river from Cherokee County, and add that little dab of Wagner. I think we talked about that today. We're working feverishly to accomplish that. We just got to figure out how to propose to split that out. But this is a great day for health at Cherokee Nation. To be able to add, I think there was something like, I forgot how many thousands of people will be added into our contract health clinical situation. So I'm very proud to support this act, or support this resolution.
I have just one comment.
Yes. And Councilman Light.
And I agree with you. And I'm going to tell you all, those of you who, I appreciate this council and Chief Baker and Deputy Chief and the Health Department and Dr. Grimm and Connie and whoever worked on this. This is a giant step for those of us who live outside the Hastings area network. It is a huge equalizer step in healthcare where I come from. And boy, oh boy, it's really needed, and I'd like to thank all of you for helping with it.
Council Lady Fulbright.
Yes, I want to thank Councilman Lay for spearheading this. Not everybody understands how contract health works. It's very complicated. It's thrown up on us in a way that maybe we don't want to do it, but it's the lines that were drawn up by the federal government even back in the 1950s. So we're trying to change some of that, modernize it, and serve our people better and easier to work the system. And I want to commend him for his hard work, and all of our health department, Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Grimm, Ms. Davis, and everyone, the chief, everyone who's worked on this. And I just think this is a great step forward. Appreciate all of you.
And Tyler, that can be your story tonight. Hey, No. I just wanted the guy behind you. I said, Tyler, that can be your story tonight. That is a very important thing that has happened. And again, I commend Councilman Lay. Sometimes we don't always agree, but I think we're probably all going to agree tonight.
I've never disagreed with the speaker, I'm sure of it.
We're just very passionate about our issues, aren't we?
Sometimes.
All those in favor, or unless there's other comments, all those in favor can signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? This is a good night for Cherokee Nation. Okay, I'm going to start over here with announcements. Do we have any announcements? Yes, Councilman Garvin.
Tomorrow night, 5 o'clock in Muskogee at Three Rivers, we're having a community meeting. I know it kind of conflicts, but you're invited. We'll be serving at probably about 5:45, something like that.
So
we start at 5.
You can come here and see our newest council lady take the oath, and then go over there for supper. Okay. And
you're all invited.
Councilman Byrd, I think you have an announcement too for District 1, 2, and 3.
I want to have Councilor Walking Stick make the announcement.
We always steal David's thunder, don't we?
Wadowski. October 28th at 5:30, we're going to have a District 1, 2, and 3 community meeting at the Talcott Community Building. 5:30, we're going to have roast and potatoes and gravy, and Joe's going to sing Rawhide, and then we're going to give out some door prizes, and it's going to be a fantastic time. So bring your appetite, bring your husbands and wives and lots of kids, and be there, be a square.
Actually, it's brisket. Brisket, beans, and potatoes.
Tomatoes, tomatoes.
But we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to have flu shots. We're going to have photo IDs. We've got all the departments coming out, and I don't know. We may get David and Joe to sing, but I think the choir's coming.
I think you're talking about deputy when you said Joe, right?
Oh, yeah, our Vice President, NCAI.
Councilman Lay.
I'm waiting to hear this singing take place. November 7th at Nowata Fairgrounds, 1 to 8, a registration meeting and a hog fry at 5:30. That's at Nowata. November 14th at Oshaleta, registration 1 to 8, and a hog fry at 5:30. And we'd like all of you to come, and I'm going to tell them you guys put through this health care benefit for us. I mean, I'm proud of you all. Thank you.
All right. Council Lady Fulbright.
Thursday night, October the 24th, we're going to have Photo ID Day at Salisaw at the fairgrounds from 1 to 8. And we had our big community meeting last month, so this is sort of a mini meeting, but we're still going to eat good and sandwiches in the afternoon, get your new photo IDs made, and at 6 o'clock the chief will speak, and after that we're going to have Charlie's Chicken and the most fabulous door prizes ever. So come on out, the 24th of October, Thursday night.
Other comments or announcements on this end? Councilman Keener.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. October 29th, we'll have a town hall at the Rogers County Fairgrounds building. And then I would also like to congratulate Helen Henry and her kids at Sequoia High School or Sequoia Middle School for the win on the language bowl. But on.
Okay. Anything else? We're also, on October 28th, going to have fabulous door prizes, so please, everyone come out. It's going to be a good night.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion by Mr. Garvin, second by Mr. Baker to adjourn. All in favor can signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. See you next